everybody, and welcome to Chats con Sabor. I am one of your hosts, Joanna, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Yvette. And today, because we're starting a new series, of course, on dating in your 50s, part one.
Yay! Yeah, so we had our dating series before. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we are. Okay, good. Sorry, I have to check all the audio and everything just to be sure. Yeah, so before we had season one, season two, we had our dating series, but it was dating in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. But this time, Miss Joanna's about to turn 50. Yeah. So I welcome her into my 50 club.
One more day, baby.
Yeah. So we decided that we were going to talk more about dating in our more mature years. Let's say that.
Hmm.
But since we're in our 50s, I feel like we have more to offer as far as jumping into this dating scene where we're a little bit more mature, way more experienced for sure. But I want to know, what do you feel like is the difference between when you were dating in your younger years before you met your husband and then now to your current fiance because you met him, both of them in different times of your life?
So, when you're in your 20s, you're dating because you have this picture in your head, like this fairy tale story that you're going to fall in love, you're going to get married, pick your fence, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In your 30s, you run into a chance of being married for 15 years, like I was. You were married for 20 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a different time because you're raising children. Your life is just busy, 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 and you kind of disconnect from yourself. You do hope that you remain forever. Then
Mm-hmm.
in your 40s, you're more seasoned, you understand things a lot better, you start knowing what it is you want as a woman. You start experiencing different things. You really get to know who you are, sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally, all those good things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now in your 50s, it's like, baby, you're like that great seasoned bottle that you just like season the meat with, and it all comes out tasting scrumptious, you know, because you have so much life, you know. And now in my 50s, I'm engaged and just a different place in my life where, happiness and peace and love and is what's important. Um, Again, in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, everyone you meet has baggage. It's the way
Mm-hmm.
you decide to deal with it, handle it, to your best of your abilities, but you also know when not to settle, when to settle, what to fight for, what not to fight for. And you start learning to take people's advice, listen to it, and then you start to decide what it is you want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think definitely getting older is a different, it's freaking fantastic, I think. I
Mm-hmm.
wish everything I knew now I knew when I was younger, because oh my god, that girl would so be in check. But I've been blessed, so
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know how sometimes people say, I wish I was younger or to be young again and this and that? I'm sorry, no. Not me. I don't say that because I don't feel like I knew myself when I was in my 20s. I really, really started to get to know myself when I was in my late 30s and early 40s. Like that. It took me a while to find out who I was as a woman and what I needed and just what I could provide into a relationship, a good, loving relationship. And I feel like Back in my 20s, I didn't know any better. I thought I did, and I will say that I was a more mature. I feel like our generation was like a more mature, like 20 somethings. We went through our 20s, we had kids, forced into adulthood like real
Yes.
fast, like become an adult, make decisions, make good decisions. And so we were kind of almost catapulted into like adulthood in our early 20s versus finding ourselves and really figuring out who we are as women first, and then jumping into like a real serious relationship, and then being, mother, grandmother, because both of us are grandmothers. So I just feel like dating in my 20s was so different from dating now. And I've said this before in a different podcast where I took a 7-year sabbatical. I was with my ex husband for 22 years in total, dating and then married. I mean, I'm only 51. That's almost half of my existence on
Mm-hmm.
this planet. I spent a good portion of my life with him, just getting to know him and getting to know myself. So I feel like now in my 50s, and the reason why we want to kind of like reshape our dating series is because we want to now focus on the more like mature level of dating. Because now, like I said, I went through a 22-year relationship. You went through a 15-year marriage, and before that had your child. We have grown so much as people, and I feel like now it's different. So,
Mm-hmm.
can you talk a little bit about how it was when you were in your 20s and you met your husband at the time? Now, it's somebody who is 14 years junior. Explain the differences of how you viewed marriage, say, in your 20s earlier on, and then now in your almost 50. Tomorrow she's turning 50, everybody. Well, we're recording this in December, so.
Well, I think in my 20s, right, it was, like I said, it was like, I was, first of all, I did not want to get married.
Mm,
I learned from watching my mom in her relationships, I was like, yeah, marriage is not for me.
yeah.
It's not for me. It's not something I wanted to do. Wasn't something I cared for. Um, and I had my oldest son. I was a single mom when I met my husband, my then husband. And to me, it was a fairy tale, right? I was in my 20s. He was older than I was. And we were at different stages in life also. All I knew being raised Hispanic in a Latin household was you take care of your family,
Mm-hmm.
you do what you need to do for your family.
Mm-hmm.
You're a wife first, you're a mother second. This is what you do. Like, that's what's ingrained in our heads. This is what I saw. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be such a good wife. I'm going to be such a great mom because I'm going to do the opposite of what my mom did when she was younger. And my mom was I mean, bless her heart, she was a mom at 16 when she had me. But that's all she knew was marriage, children, household. That was her life.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she married for the second time was work, marriage, home. Work, marriage, home. Work, marriage, home. And she had a very rough relationship with my stepdad, which I call my dad. I never referred to him as my stepdad. But
Right. He raised
it's
you, right?
different.
Basically. Yeah.
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 So now I have a better outlook on relationships, what's worth fighting for, what's not. He is younger than I am, so we are in two different seasons of our lives. But I think that at the same time, it kind of balances us out to a certain extent. So he learns from me, I learn from him because I didn't have much of a teenage growing up. We were very sheltered. We didn't do a lot of stuff that teenagers did. We didn't go, to college. I did all that after the fact, like in my
Mm-hmm.
30s and all that. So I never got to experience the light, the fun, the living life the best way you can. And I
Yeah.
feel like I get that a lot from him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he has sometimes it is a battle. It's not like it's super easy, because we're two different personalities,
Mm-hmm.
and we're two strong personalities, you know. So even
Mm-hmm.
though I've dealt with what I've dealt with, and I've had lots of therapy, and I've done lots of work on myself, you know, I've invested that time in me. It's now he's doing it now, you know, in his late 30s. So it's very different, but at the same time, it's definitely an experience. Not that it's a bad experience.
Mm-hmm.
It has its moments, but the love and the attention and the care is there.
Yeah.
And it was definitely something that, not to take anything away from my marriage, but it's definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, everyone has their selfish ways, but when somebody can come back from that selfish way after thinking about something and sees things and is like, oh my gosh, like, what did I just do? I messed up. That's what I have now. I never had that before. I didn't have that in my
Yeah.
marriage at all. Like, it was always some type of excuse for why things were done the way they were, why he did what he did. It was never ownership, accountability. So it's definitely different. Um, and all relationships are work, and what you accept is what you accept. Other people
Mm-hmm.
may not agree with it, but there's something in you that knows that it may be a challenge, but is it worth it? Does that person love you? Does that
Right.
person respect you? Where you start going through a checklist. Like, your mentality is different. Your
Mm-hmm.
way of thinking is different. And as Yvette knows, we've had our but at the end of the day, we find ourselves, and it's gotten to the point that it has been a lot more communication, a lot more trust, a lot more. It's very different.
Mm-hmm.
So I call him my little gypsy. My watch out. He's like, you know, but he's made a lot of strides, and he's doing so much better.
I will say, at 51 years old, I still react sometimes. I, it's
So do
human
I.
nature. It's human nature. Sometimes we're just like, what the fuck? In the moment. In the moment, we're like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, it's an argument. But then when you take the time, you step back and at our age, I feel like we do that a lot. We kind of
Hmm.
take a moment, we take a step back, and then we take the time to like really process. We process everything, and then it's like, how is this making me feel? And why is this making me feel the way I'm feeling? I have a reel saved because I'm gonna share it at some point on this in this season. But it really says something like, a lot of the times we're not listening to understand. We're listening with our triggers. So in our minds, we're saying, wait, that's a red flag for me because of our trauma, because we haven't actually dealt with the trauma that we went through in our past. So it remains a trigger in our current relationship. And instead of actually processing with a logical mind, well, let me take a step back. Like, okay, yeah, I'm pissed off. The emotion is there. I'm angry. But is it really because I'm really pissed off at him because of what he said or she said? Or is it because this is a trigger for me? And I'm waiting for somebody, whoever it is, somebody to click that trigger on. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to react in the certain way I'm going to react based off of so and so hurting me in the past. So, although it's a good thing that we go through experiences at our age, in our 50s, I feel like we've grown so much and processed. Not everybody, I'm going to say, not everybody in their 50s or even 60s or even 70s has processed well through all the pain that they've gone through in their life and released everything and then can go forward. Some of us still hold on to those triggers as if those are, oh, that's a red flag, that's a red flag, that's a red flag. We're constantly hanging on to all the red flags. Well, what are you going to have? You're just going to have this accumulation of, oh my God, people have hurt me in the past, and you're not going to be able to move forward.
It's a safety net that they use.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that was so important to me, working through therapy, was not to bring my past into my relationships.
Yep.
Like, because it's a storm, because everyone has baggage. So if you bring your baggage, they collect their baggage, and then one of you isn't healthy, guess what? That's just going to be pure toxicity in a relationship.
Yeah, no, seriously, no, I totally get that. But all right, I have a question for you though.
Shoot.
What attracts most women mentally and physically to a man?
So I think, again, in your different ages, you're attracted to different things,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
At 50, I feel as though it's more substance,
Mm.
that a person has some substance to them. Like,
Yeah.
they're connected to their emotions, they understand things, they listen, I mean, not that everybody does. I'm just saying these are the things that a mature woman looks for. Because some are more attracted to the physical than the emotional aspect of
Even in our
someone.
50s.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, some women are like, it's the outside that they look at first, and you're like, boom, like.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with me and my experience, I think now I've gotten to the point in my life that I want someone with substance, that just thinks for themselves, is uh, in tune with their feelings and their emotions, and they're not afraid to express them to me.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, because that's where communication comes in. And if you're going to build something, you can't be afraid of the person that you're with all the time. So,
Very true.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's, to me, the inside and the brain, like your intelligence, is something that's more attractive than
Mm-hmm.
your outer. I think the outside, to me, at this point in my life, is a bonus.
I
I think
agree.
the connection with the physical, the emotional, the smarts and all that is just, to me, is more sexy.
Now, I will say though, I'm going to add to that and say that I feel like the experiences we've had as women, as men, as adults, because when we're young and stupid, right? Like we react on an emotional level, but the experiences that we have brought on, that we have gone through, and those lessons that we've carried with us, that we've grown through, we carry them with us into older adulthood. So we're talking 50s now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
50 and beyond. I feel like sometimes, though, we don't necessarily grow through that pain. So we end up holding on to those
Mm-hmm.
triggers. And sometimes, not every time, and I'm not saying this is a general blanket statement, but sometimes we end up taking those experiences and saying, oh my God, I'm seeing the signs again. So now I'm not going to move forward with this relationship. I'm going to cut it off. I'm very guilty of that. I'm going to say that. I have just cut people off, like literally chop your head off. I, off with your head. You know that song, off with your head. Um, I have literally just chopped it off at that moment because you're not meeting the expectations that I have for you, right? And so I'm not saying it's right, but at the same time, I feel like whatever experiences that I've had in the past have led me to this level in life, and I have gotten to the point to where I'm like, okay, well, these are the standards that I have for a relationship, for a man. And if you don't meet them, again, I have spent 22 years of my life with somebody that I've gone through the ups and downs with. Am I willing to go through the ups and downs again for another 22 years of my life? Shit, I'm 51 years old. I am 51 years old. Like, cut me some slack. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like,
51 years young. We're in a different stage in our life. We're still
that's
young.
okay. I'm 51 years young, but still, do I want to spend another 22 years going through the same shit that I just went through? No, no.
It's not the same shit. It's different shit from somebody else.
Same shit, different person. That's what I'm saying. You kind of get to this level or plateau. Are we really gonna do this? And that's why I got to a point, especially right before my 7 year sabbatical, where I was like, listen, we don't have any kids together. You don't pay my bills. You're not supporting me in any kind of way as far as emotionally, financially, none of that, right? I'm literally doing this. I'm doing life on my own now. So why the fuck am I gonna pull up with your bullshit? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, so I'm kind of there where it's half and half. One, on the one hand, I'm not gonna make you pay for the other dude's mistakes, right? But on the other hand, I've dealt with all of that shit, so I'm not gonna put up with your new bullshit. There's gotta be this balance, this that give and take. You know what I'm saying? So, do our needs and desires change with age? Do you think?
Yes.
Expound on that, please.
I feel like when you're in your late 40s, 50s, you know what you want and what your desires are. You're less fearful to actually express them and connect with them because you know what you want. And you're able to express those with communication to your partner on what it is that you need and what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's super important. As a kid in your 20s, all you want to do is hump like little chihuahuas.
Fuck like rabbits.
I mean, you don't care what connection you have and don't have. Where I feel like when you start getting older, you just like that connection's so important. It's a lot more important to have that connection with your partner than it was when you were younger. It's so easy to just give it up. you know?
It's
So
true. No, it's true. And I feel like we've talked about this in other episodes on the podcast, and where you and I we've gotten to an age where the most important thing is the connection and not just let's fuck like rabbits. I mean, we make fun, but it's true. We
it's
want
so
the
different.
connection with our partner. That's the most important thing. And if it's not there, then it's not worth it to me. I went 7 years without having sex.
Do the math, people. Do the math.
7 years, not kissing a man, not having sex with a man, not even texting a man. 7 years. 7 years. That's a long time. I can't even imagine myself doing it again. Let's just say that. I can't imagine myself doing it again. But I went through that because I didn't want superficial shit. I did not want a superficial connection. I did not want superficial love. I did not want superficial sex. I literally just said, nope, nope. Nope, nope. And when I opened myself up again and coming into this new, I know who I am, I know what I bring, I know the level of connection that I want. Like, it's so different. It's so different than when I was in my 20s,
Hmm.
even in my 30s. And I know there's a lot of women out there that are in their 50s and they're just like, fuck it, I just want to have fun. I just want to
Hmm.
fuck a young guy because all of a sudden he feels like I'm worthy. Because younger men attracted to older women, what's the obsession? Let me tell you, and Ms. Joanna will tell you. She will confirm what I'm going to say. I, for some reason, have always attracted younger men. I don't know why. And I'm sure it's like that for a lot of women in their 50s and, 60s. And like, for some reason, we attract younger men. And I feel it's because we reach this age, like we are now, we have this knowing about ourselves. We have accepted ourselves. We know who we are. We know what we want. And if we do accept anything less, it's because we tell ourselves, okay, you know what? This is just a one-time thing. This is just a fun escapade. But at the same time, I feel like younger men are more intrigued by us because we know this. We walk around with this confidence like I could give three fucks about what's going on around me. And all I care about is what I want in this moment as a, for me, 51-year-old woman. For Joanna, 50-year-old woman. This is who we are. Accept me, don't accept me. I could give a fuck less. Go away if you don't accept it, right? I mean, what do you think? What do you think is the whole obsession of this younger man to the older woman, and why is it such a huge phenomenon?
I think actually saw a reel where a younger man explains what why he was so attracted, because nowadays not too many 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds want to have kids.
True.
They don't
Yeah.
they don't want families.
Mm-hmm.
They want to enjoy their lives, so they look at older women as that.
Yeah.
They don't have any responsibilities at this point. We can just go, we can go travel, we can do things. I don't have to worry about kids. She has her kids, play stepdaddy for a couple days, whatever. But there's like an understanding between them and an older woman,
Mm-hmm.
because it's changing. It's changing. Men do
Mm-hmm.
not want to have kids anymore. They do not want to get married to, and I hate to say it, to younger women or women their age, because with an older woman, they're more confident. They have their stuff put together. But I think the confidence is a huge factor. There's no constant, where are you? What are you doing? It's like you do you, I do me, and when we come together, we're a unity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what guys are looking for nowadays. I mean, and then you have the older men that are our age that are you looking for the younger women that they can take care of and support and kind of like mold into what it is they want. So it's definitely a different time. That's my opinion. Take it for
I
what it's worth.
was That was my next subtopic, was older men attracted to younger women. Is this still a thing? I came across a reel and I wish I would have saved it, but I didn't. But I came across a reel where it said something about the hormonal levels. Okay, so whereas women, when they are, oh fuck, I'm gonna mess this up because I should have saved it. But basically saying that the reason why older men, are attracted to younger women is because they have higher levels of estrogen. And as we get older, menopause, you and I, our estrogen levels decrease. So that's why they're not so much attracted to us. And men our age are attracted to younger women who have higher levels of estrogen, but then young men, they have high levels of testosterone. Then now they're attracted to women who have lower levels of estrogen but higher levels of testosterone. And it made a lot of sense to me. This is why we as women, when we're older, we're attracted to, say, men our age or younger, slightly younger. I wouldn't say like 30 years younger, 40 years younger.
Oh no,
But,
girl.
yeah, yeah. Uh, but it kind of makes sense because of the hormone situation and the vibe that we're putting out there, for lack of a better word. So we're putting out this vibe of, yeah, this is the type of woman that I am, and I know who I am, and I know what I want, and yada, 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 in our 50s. So everybody take this into context. Women who have had children, our hormone levels are wacky because we're going through menopause, all the things. Younger men, for whatever reason, they are attracted to those levels in our hormones. So it's not just a, because you ask a young guy about why he's attracted to an older woman, and he will say she knows what she wants, she doesn't expect yada yada yada. And to be honest, an older woman is not looking necessarily at a younger man to fulfill this, what you said earlier, where we're trying to figure out, well, I need to be with a man who's going to give me a certain amount of kids or provide me a certain life. It's not about that anymore. It's more about the fact that we've already lived our lives, right? At 50
It's
years
not
old,
complicated. It's not complicated with us.
it's not complicated anymore. We've lived our lives. We've gone through whatever we've gone through, and now we know what we want. And you know what? You are it for now. I mean, and they're all about it. The young guys are all about it. So, yeah, I don't know. Um what do you think about dating a man that who earns less than the woman?
It doesn't bother me, honestly.
Not you, but what do you think in general?
I think that yes, yes, it would bother. It would, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on, like, there's a lot of guys that are old school, there's a lot of females that are old school, and then there's people that take advantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think it depends on the person, I guess, and where they are and what stage they are in life, I feel.
Do you think that though, like it has more to do with whether you're a man or a woman?
Yes.
In what way?
I feel like sometimes men are more, there's a lot of men that are more old school, and I feel like, um, in my opinion, that they want to be able to take care of their woman. They want to be able to do everything that they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's there's men that want a partnership. There's men that, and then there's women that want a partnership or they want to be taken care of, you know? So I think it really depends on the person and how that person was raised at the end of the day. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I asked this of Kevin in a previous episode in season 3. Do you feel there could be an equalization of the relationship if the woman makes more than the man?
again, I guess it depends on the person and how prideful they are,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because a lot of a lot of men are very prideful. Some, I mean, maybe 5% might be like, hell yeah, my wife makes more money, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
there's some men that will thrive in order to be able to take care of everything,
Mm.
um, and their families, no matter how hard they have to work, no matter how much money they're bringing in from their first job, they'll go to a second job so they can make, you know, ends meet. So it really, to me, it really depends on how the person has been raised. But yes, I think for men, it's a pride thing.
I tend to agree with that, yeah. All right, we now have come to the portion of our episode with a slice of advice. So let me see.
Yep.
Oh, this is a good one, and I want to know your take on it, okay? So, make a million mistakes. Just quit wasting your energy making the same mistakes. Every experience is your education. Make the time or take the time to learn. What do you think about that?
I feel like every experience in life, every challenge has been placed in front of you as a lesson. What you do with that lesson is what gets you on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I think life wasn't made to be easy, right?
No.
Life was made to have challenges. Life was made to give you guys goals, to for you to achieve, for you to want a better life, for you to so so I feel like every step in our lives, because there's not one person on this earth that can say that they had a perfect life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to the shit.
Mm-hmm.
I will call your bullshit on that. Because there is something that you're deeply pushing down that you don't remember that caused an effect. So, yes.
I agree with that because for most of us, we tend to push down our experiences, bad experiences especially. So we tend to push down our reactions to those experiences too.
I feel like it creates a black hole.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's just like, like in the cartoons, it's constantly spinning. And sometimes it it's like a tornado and it comes up and it peaks its head and then it goes back down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, life is full of challenges. What you do with your lessons is what's going to get you to the next level, to the next step. I have learned in my life that not to keep anything pressed. Process it, deal with it. Childhood trauma, marriage trauma, whatever may, the more you deal with it, the better you become, the
Mm-hmm.
better person you are, the
Mm-hmm.
better human you are, the more understanding and empathetic you are to other people. When you let go of that victim card of this happened to me, this is why the way I am, I'm so fucked up. When you let that go, because you shouldn't be ashamed of anything that happened to you in your life.
Right. Right.
Because of the fact that it's a lesson, it's helped you become the person you are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would I say that I was proud of who I was in my 20s? Not so much, because I was a child with a child. You know, I did what I could from what I
Mm-hmm.
knew. In my 30s, I became a better mom. I became a wife. I went back to school. I did college. I did trade school. I did a lot of things that I would have never done in my 20s. I don't care what has happened in my life or what I've done to someone, and if I've hurt you, whatever it may be. I'm sorry. I am a different person now.
Mm-hmm.
You want to live on what happened in the past? That's on you. I have moved on. And I genuinely apologize for whatever it was that I did, because I never in my life, knowing my heart and knowing who I am, never intentionally wanted to hurt anybody or, you know, in
Right.
any kind of way.
Right.
It was probably survival mode. I'm telling you, I've had a lot of therapy, people. I have recognized a lot of things, and protective mode, survival mode, fight or flight, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's not the person I am now. If anything, I've used all those things to be better, to be a better human being,
I
for
agree.
sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That was my tangent.
No, it's not a tangent. I totally agree with what you said. So I think it's great. When men are in competition with your solitude and not another man, this is especially pertinent to the fact that we are in our 50s and we've grown through all that. We've gone through all that. And so now you're not competing with another man. You're competing with our solitude, with our peace.
Peace.
Our peace. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I agree. That's the one thing that I have learned that I will not give up is my
Mm-hmm.
peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I will let it be known that that is the one thing I'm not giving up. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever you have, deal with it.
Yep.
Whatever you have is not mine to carry. It's
Mm-hmm.
yours to carry. So you need to learn how to deal with that. And if you want to have a conversation about it later, then let's do it. But your stuff is not my stuff. If
Right.
your emotional baggage is not my emotional baggage, I will
Mm.
be there, stand by you. When you're ready to talk about it, I'm here for you. But you take it from there because my peace is not going to be disturbed. It's not. And some people get so angry when there's no reaction. There's no reaction. I am not giving up my peace to punch you in the face. Now, you punch me in the face is a whole different story, you know, but I'm not giving you that. Call me a bitch, call me an idiot, call me whatever. I don't care. But you're not disturbing my peace. Your energy is not, like you tell me, my little veil, my little freaking surrounding, it's not coming in there. It's just different. It is so different now. And I'm trying to be more aware of it too. Like, and put my feet in the ground when it does happen. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't allow the
Exactly.
outside noise to travel here.
Ooh,
That's why
that's a
my
good
circle
thing.
went from
Yeah.
this to this.
Yep. Yep. I totally get that. So I have a reel that I want to share. And it says attention is not intention. When
Okay.
someone tells you they don't want a relationship or they ghost you, you can grieve out of disappointment that they weren't the one, but you shouldn't grieve as if they were the one. So I'm going to look for this reel. Please hold. I loved it. I thought it was super powerful because sometimes we put more emphasis or more energy, I guess, into the fact that these people are the one or maybe the one. We're so conditioned to find the one that the man or the woman could work either way shows a little bit of something and then you're like, ah, yeah, that and you hang on to that, and then all of a sudden those are the qualities that make them the one, right? So
Mm-hmm.
no, this guy, he goes into detail about this. Okay, so let me start the reel over. Hold on, and
The moment
let's
you
show
decide
this.
you like someone and then you feel they like you back, the most dangerous moment in dating. And the reason it's the most dangerous moment is because we think it's so rare. I never meet anyone I like and they like me back. This is it. And then we give everything to this situation.
Oh my God.
But it's only level 2.
This is my entire life.
Right.
Go on.
It's only level 2 because level 3 is commitment. Level 3 is when there's someone who doesn't just want to give you attention, they also have real intention. Attention is not intention. Commitment is level 3. Commitment is We like each other, but we're also saying yes to each other. So what we have to start saying to ourselves is, no one can be important to me that does not choose me. When someone at level 2 fades out, ghosts you, disappears, decides they don't, or tells you they don't want a relationship, you can grieve out of disappointment that they were not the one, but you can't grieve as if they were the one.
You know, that can play in friendships too.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Please expound on that.
Because I feel that, in my opinion, I feel that some people get so caught up. Oh, well, I was there for that person and I did everything I could for that person and now that person isn't talking to me. And so you mean you busted your ass trying to prove yourself to another human being that was showing you they didn't care or had any good intentions for you. You poured into that person. And now the one that's sitting boo-hoo-hooing is you while the other person has moved on.
Yep.
I mean, it works the same way. I mean, as humans, we get so wrapped up in emotions that we don't stop to see the actual big picture of why that person is no longer in your life.
Yep.
Maybe it was something that you did and you have to take accountability for what it is you did. Maybe the person's completely oblivious to what happened, intentionally oblivious to what is, because there's people that are oblivious on purpose. They know exactly what happened, and then they act like they don't know what they did. It can work either way.
Yeah.
We're just surrounded by emotions, and we're emotional human beings, and that's what people think that life is about, and that's how it functions, and that's how it runs, but that's not how it moves forward. It's not.
100% agree. All right, I have another one for you. And this is about a healthy cadence of dating. All right, here we go.
The guy likes you, there's one speed he's going to take. Okay, welcome to the Daddy Academy. And it should look like this. Within 48 hours of meeting you on a dating app, okay, a few exchanges back and forth, he will get you off it, get your number, set a date for that weekend. Throughout the week, you will get consistent communication from him, not constant. You might skip a day or so, but you will know that for certain that date is happening that Saturday night. Go on this date, have an amazing date, you have a great time. Coming out of that date, whether you text him first or he texts you, there'll be that communication on Sunday. He will say, obviously if the date went really well, I would love to see you again. What are you doing this weekend? So plan a date for the following weekend. You agree? You're going out that weekend. There will be consistent communication throughout the week, not constant. Okay, so he's not blowing up each other's phones, but you will hear from him maybe every day, every other day, but enough that you still feel confident about the way things are going. You go on that second date. Repeat. More or less, it's going to be that same cycle. Okay, he's not going to be love bombing you. You're not going to see him 4 times in 2 weeks. It's this consistent 1 week date, a little chit chat. 1 week date, a little chit chat. And that will continue for at least the first month. After the first month, things can start to ramp up a little bit. But for those first 3 dates or so, that is the speed it should feel. And it's good for you too, because you don't know a guy until you've seen him over a period of time. If you love bomb each other and you see each other 4 times in the first week, it's you're just building this connection based off of emotion, and you're not really seeing how he operates, right? So you want to see how he operates as well. But a healthy masculine man, this is how he's going to go about pursuing you. Okay, that's not going slow. That's the proper speed. Going slow would be you see him once a month. That's slow. Okay, that we don't like. Once a week,
Nobody likes that.
That's great, and they could always build from there. So there's no taking it slow. If a guy really likes you, this is the way he'll go about it, and it will only increase over time. More communication over time, more dates over time, and it will slowly build from there. But there's no such thing as going slow. This is the one speed.
What do you think about that?
Academy, and it should look like this.
I think that's smart. I think the build up to having something is smart. And we are in such a rush in this society that we want everything now. There's absolute zero patience in this world.
Instant
Now, 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 now.
gratification.
Yeah. And what does that get to? A year in a relationship before he or she cheats on you, because one is more invested than the other. I mean, I think that has become even though sometimes I call my Jersey girl this she reels her ugly head sometimes with the patience aspect of it. But I've got it in check to the point that I take my life on a day-to-day basis. I get up, do my thing. I think of today. I don't think of the future. I think of today.
Yeah.
Where am I going to... Because at the end of the day, when I leave this world, I truly want to leave it without any regrets. I had a good life. I lived the best that I could. I did the things that brought me out of my shell. I've had good friends, family members. Like, I can honestly say that taking my life day by day makes me appreciate everything else that's around me. Like, at this point, I just want to enjoy what I have and where I'm at in my life. I'm already 50. I have come a long way from where I was. I have been blessed 10 times over. And I just want to enjoy the ride now.
Okay, well, so now we're going to kind of take a little twist and turn. And Miss Joanna has our what the fuck moment for this
it's good
episode.
because it's my girls. Hold on.
Is
Let
it
me grab
a
it for you.
doozy? It's a doozy.
It's always a doozy. Okay.
Whoa. Hi, fam. Long-time listener, and I've never had a problem like this that I needed advice on. Oh my god, this is a friend. First ever post, so bear with me, please. My boyfriend, 22 male, and I, 21 female, have been together since 2019, with only one breakup in that time. A little background. He's my high school sweetheart, and also the only man I've ever slept with. We broke up previously due to immaturity on his part and not being ready for a life commitment. On to the issue. We have had a photo album of us we've been working on together since we started dating, and it's almost complete. I went into his photo gallery to see if there was any new good photos to add to our album to finish it off. We have an open phone policy. I'm scrolling, and I see photos of my pregnant sisters and a video of my sister breastfeeding her daughter. I can't describe the sinking feeling that came over me and how fast my heart started to beat. The videos and photos were recorded from my phone 24 days ago while I was sleeping. I have no idea what to do or what to say of him. The one thing I've done so far is edit them on his Snapchat to where the video says, quote, "Why are these on your phone?" And to the pictures, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm currently waiting for him to wake up and notice. Once he does, I'm not sure what to say or what to do.
What do you think of that?
OMG.
People are sick, dude.
I have no words.
I've never stomped her ever.
She has never stumped me. That's just nasty. That's nasty. That's perverted. That's nasty.
It's a fetish.
I'm sorry. Took pictures of her breastfeeding just so he could get a sneak peek of her boob. I'm sorry. What? There's a kid sucking on that boobie. There's nothing romantic or erotic about that. If there is, you're sick. You're sick in the fucking head. Our bodies are meant to do that. Our bodies are made to feed children, reproduce, grow children in our belly, in our uterus, have children through our vaginas, and then feed children through our boobies, right? Like, I'm sorry, that is sick. That is sick. The fact that you see that as like a baby is sucking on that nipple, yeah, that turns me on. Bing! I'm sorry, what? That's gross. I would be totally grossed out by that. That's my, what do you think?
Divorce, breakup, whatever, perv, I'm out.
I would be out too. There's no devil's
Ugh.
advocate here. There's no devil's
No.
advocate. This is all the devil.
That is a nasty fetish.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ew. Ew. That's my stance. What's your stance?
That was my stance too. Fucking perv. What's wrong with people?
So crazy. All right. So, I have a question for you. What does it really mean when a man who left you comes back and says that he missed you?
The grass wasn't greener on the other side.
that was my that was my POV. Mhm.
Just saying. Well,
so
I guess
what-
depending on the circumstances. Let's
No,
just
but no,
be
that's not
politically
circumstances.
correct.
I'm sorry. No. He left you, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he says, "Oh my God, I missed you." I mean,
Well, again, depending. What if he had to go overseas for work?
oh, now you're playing it devil's advocate. Okay, I see how the
I'm trying to do an event here, and he had to leave because of XYZ, because he was going to be a shit ton of money, but the relationship couldn't go on. It wouldn't be fair for her. Blah blah blah. He comes back. And boom,
Nope.
I missed you so much.
Oh,
No.
fuck
The
that
reality
bullshit.
is the grass was not greener on the other side. That's facts, Jack.
I feel like that's all that it is. I missed you. Now, you thought you were going to have a better life over there, and you went and tried it out, but now you realize, nope, it's not greener. So now
Nope.
you're going to try to come and slither your way back over here? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. All right. Do you think that menopause should be discussed prior to dating somebody? Especially because the whole vaginal dryness and stuff like that.
I don't think it's something that should be discussed on the first date, but I definitely think that it should be discussed. For sure.
But like prior to you like really setting the standard of like we're gonna be dating.
If it's gonna become something serious, then yes. But if you're just like going on a first date, second date, and then the third date, you're like, yeah, why discuss it? Yeah, no, I'm out. That's I am pretty unfiltered, but that's one conversation I am not having. Not until I'm good and ready to have it, and you and I are a real thing. Just saying.
Okay, I have another question for you. Is there a difference in dating as a grandparent versus dating as a single mom or dad? And what should the boundaries be?
What I've learned, actually, I had a discussion with this with my son the other day. I said what I learned in dating. My oldest son is single, and he's a father. And I said what I would have changed in my life when I was dating, if I knew better, was I would have definitely focused on me and my child.
Yeah.
I would have done the things that I needed to do. If I had a good foundation that could have led me to a better outlook in life, I would have definitely focused more on my child, less on dating, because it's hard when a kid's raising a kid, you don't know better. You're dating here and there. You're bringing this guy, the kid's starting to get confused. I would have definitely thought about it, never brought anybody around my children when I was dating. And even when after the fact, in my 40s, I should have never crossed that line until I was 1,000% sure that that person was going to be in my life. I mean, at the end of the day, whether our children are in their teens, in their 20s, whatever, they're going to be affected by who you bring to your house.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that person's going to treat you is going to either cause a good relationship or a bad.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice is be careful with who and what you bring into your home.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're a single mom, no matter how hard it is, focus on you and your child.
Mm-hmm.
Once you accomplish what you need to accomplish, then think about dating. And when you're dating, have at least a 6-month window when you bring somebody around.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to confuse the child. And I told Christian, I said, that's what I would have changed. Like, even in my 40s. Even though I was more careful in my 40s when, after everything that happened. But I was also in a different mind frame where I wanted to find something that was better.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was going through therapy, I wasn't there yet. If that makes any sense. Like, I was always looking for something better.
Yeah.
That could be stable, that could be a foundation, that could be this, that could be that. And I kept hitting roadblocks until I got to the point that I just didn't want to date anymore. It wasn't worth it to me. And, I had a very horrible relationship that I was in, and I was living with someone, and then it got to the point that I started seeing someone that had their own stuff, but it was healthier. It was friendship that taught me a lot. And once that dissolved, then I was like, I'm not dating anymore.
Do you think there's a difference in being a single mom and like what you're talking about is more on the single mom side or single parent side, right? So, but do you think there's a difference in that? And then also, should there be a boundary as a grandparent? Because whoever you bring into your child's life as a single mom, you have to have that boundary. That's why I never really dated anybody when my kids, after my divorce and, when my kids were young. I didn't want to introduce anybody into their lives because I didn't want to be that revolving door. Oh, here's a new guy. Here's mom and new boyfriend. But do you think there's a difference then between that as a single mom in particular and also as a single grandmother?
Yeah.
I
think that you're still protecting, you still have to protect
whichever
your
child. Yeah. Whether it's your child or your grandchild, right?
Exactly. You still have to protect them. So you have to be smart in who you bring into your home. This world is fucking insane right now. I mean, there are so many perverts out there. That's why I'm like, a 6-month window, I think, is a fair window to, if you want to go longer, for you to actually get to know another person and take your time knowing them, so you know exactly who you're bringing in.
Child or grandchild? I'm sorry. Yeah. No. No. Mama Bear comes out big time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
All right. This is the final little thingy that I want to bring up. It says, I was watching a reel and it was talking about dating, and I feel like in this day and age, people are so freaking worried about, I don't want to give too much information. I don't want to give too little. I don't want to tell them exactly how I feel, yada, yada, yada. I feel like we play this game of like, don't say this on the first date. Definitely not, because it makes you sound like a crazy person, right? So this guy says, state your intentions from the jump. so that you scare away the wrong man or the wrong woman. You need to be clear about what you want so that you're not wasting time on the wrong person. Don't be afraid to make it awkward. How do you feel about that?
I agree. Be as honest. I mean, there's certain things you can be honest about, not menopause. You can leave that for later.
Maybe second date.
But definitely, like, doing the XYZs, like, knowing this is who I am, this is what I want. If it's
Mhm.
something you cannot give me, then all
Walk
right, I
away.
get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're good. We don't have to waste each other's time. Let's just move on. I think it's also important that when it's communicated properly and correctly, intelligently. Because I think some people will say things and be freaking rotten about it. Then you're like, fuck you. I'd rather respect someone and respect the person telling me that, hey, this is what I want. If it's something that you can't give me, then hey, if you want to be friends, we can be friends. We can move on, whatever. But I'd rather someone tell me the truth. I mean, in a very tasteful way and respectful way, than me find out 6 months down the road. I just wasted 6 months of my life on you, peckerhead.
But also, I feel like it's for every generation or every age that you're in the dating
Mhm.
pool or the dating scene, right? Why waste your time getting to know somebody if they're not in alignment with what your goals are for your life, right? So say the guy doesn't want to have kids and you want to have 5 kids. There's no compromise there. You either have
Hell
kids or
no.
you don't have kids. There's no compromise there. I feel like in our 50s, it's a little bit different only because obviously most of us cannot have kids anymore, right? Um, and so that's not necessarily the pressing issue in getting to know somebody or finding the alignment with somebody. But like, I'm retired, I live on a fixed income, and you are still climbing the corporate ladder and you still are chasing the dream. Those are completely different paths that you're on. So I feel in that sense, you should bring that up right away in what he said. Stop wasting your time and their time, because if you're not in alignment with the trajectory of your life, then, you know, and I feel like sometimes it comes down to the fact that we as women, we think that we can change men, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And or men think that the women are going to change their mind. 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work out that way. And then resentment starts to build even if you continue on the relationship, the dating, and it gets serious, and you still end up on opposite ends of the road, and you're looking at each other from across the street and you're like, how are you over there and I'm over here? Well, it's because you weren't paying attention to me when we first started dating and I started telling you these are my life goals and this is what I want for myself. And you just thought, well, she'll come down to my level. And she thought, oh, he'll just end up meeting me where I am, right? I feel like we could save ourselves a lot of grief and heartache if we were just honest from the jump. And
I agree.
sometimes it does sound crazy talking about it on the first date. How many kids do you want, and what are your relationship goals? But on the opposite side, we could have saved each other a lot of heartache and pain if we were
Yeah,
just honest with each other. That's how I see it.
I saw a reel the other day that was
Hmm.
based on this. This guy was dating this girl for a year. They were under the understanding that they were not going to have children.
Yeah.
Well, she changed her mind.
Uh,
She wanted to have kids, and she was trying everything in her power to change his mind. And he
he was
was
like, no. Mm,
I mean, dug his feet in the sand and was
yeah.
like, then you and I cannot be together because that's not my life. That is not what I want.
Oh.
And he ended up leaving her, and he was determined. He's like, I don't want children. I've never wanted children. He's like, I made that clear to you when we first started dating.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's people think that they can change other people's minds, but on that note,
I feel like we're leaving this on a heavy note, but I think the moral of this last point that we made was that you should know what you want. And just because you feel how you feel or what you want for your own life, that does not negate the fact that there is a man out there that will be like, that's what I want too. It might not be the one that you want, that guy right there that you're trying to date, and he might be on a completely different level as you. You just have to accept the fact that this is my path. It's not his path, but it's my path. And I'm not going down that. I'm not willing to compromise. Now, if you are willing to compromise, that's a different story. If you say, I want 2 kids, but maybe I don't. I'm okay if I don't have kids. There's some wiggle room there. There's a compromise there. But if you really want kids and you meet somebody and you're like, oh my God, I'm so in love with her, but he really does not want kids, that's a clash of goals.
huge goal.
And there's
like
no
a
compromise
huge life
on that.
change.
There is
Yeah.
no compromise on that. You have kids or you don't have kids. Listen, I've waited for a long fucking time. A long And there's something to be said for waiting, for getting what you want and what you have, what you receive into your life, and not settling. Don't settle. That guy is great, but he's not everything. And that's okay. He can be great. He's just not the great guy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
Right.
yeah. Anyway, I have our wow for tonight. And my wow is perfect. Choose the one that will choose you in a room full of people, not the one that only chooses you when the room is empty.
I heard something like that today on one of my affirmations. I love it.
Oh, wow. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat it. Choose the one that will choose you in a room full of people, not the one that only chooses you when the room is empty. Damn. I feel like it said it all, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to expound on it, but I don't want to at the same time because I feel like it just said it all.
It was
Like
perfect.
It was perfect. It was perfect. All right. Thank you all for joining us on this episode of Chats con Sabor Season 4. We are having so much fun this season. And we are going to bring you so many more tantalizing conversations. And
So excited.
unfortunately, my Joanna's not sitting here.
She's in her comfy zone.
We're going to bring you so many more episodes, and we love that you have joined us this far. Please continue to support and follow. We love you guys for all of it. Mwah. Adios,
Adios.
amigos. Bye.
Bye.